Hello Tarot lovers and welcome to another episode here at Ground Tarot Readings. Lately I have been into comparisons. Well, if you have a lot of decks then it's interesting to compare them, and I thought why not give it a try, or let's see what happens when I look, for instance, at these lovely miniatures from US Game Systems. So Rider Waite, of course. I love the vibrant colors. This is the oldest one I have, 1973. And see what happens if you compare those, how they change in time. Well, I posted it on Facebook in the Tarot History group, and people seem to, like it. And I thought, well, we tarot lovers know that the pictures has more than 1,000,000 words. So for that reason, I thought, okay, I'll make a video about this. So I'm going to show you some insight in what I do and how you can date things, because people have been asking me, how do you date things? And that's always very interesting because, yeah, you get kind of a feel of the vintage and the ancienity of a deck and so on. So what I first do is, and I like being a detective, is I always look what kind of information is there. Is there ISBN or something like that? And who produced it and what have you not. And you see that there are not many modern references here. There's not something like a website or ISBN number or something like that. Just says US Game Systems in New York, not a specific address. And it's printed by AGM. So if you know a bit about US Game Systems, you know that New York was where they were before they were on Stanford. So this is then an older deck. So this box opens like this. It's very cute, but if you pick it up like this, all the cards fell out. So you have to be careful there. And yeah, well, the luck I have is that I think people didn't like using them, probably because they're so small. And most of my decks are in pretty mint condition. Well, I always like that. And what's interesting here, so many of you may know, the blue box riders are always very popular because of the blushing fool. But this one actually has a blushing fool and a blushing high priestess as well. So you can see that here. It has to do with the print settings. It's not so good to see with the fool. Let's wait. You see that? I think it's more obvious here with the high priestess. So they also call them fool with measles. But yeah, it has to do with the printing press. So that was different back in the day, and at some point AGM changed that, but we'll get into that later. What's also interesting are the two blank cards. They're still here. Yeah, here we have the booklet, and the booklet gives us more information. So that giveaway is that after a certain time, US Game Systems, a lot of people hate that, put on copyright here on the card itself, often with the year, and these cards don't have that. So here we have the booklet, and what you do is that you look, what does it say here? And you can see at front it says Park Avenue, and that's one of the first addresses. First address by US Games is just New York. There wasn't a specific address, and after that the address was Park Avenue. And if you look further here, you see even more information. What you see here specifically is called a printing line, and you see it says 109876 and it goes all the way down to 2. So this means, unfortunately, it's a second printing, not a first, but still it's very young because, or old, I mean, because first printing is the oldest, after that the second, the third, and so forth. And what you see here also, what's interesting, is printed in the United States of America. And it also says that, I believe, on the box. No, it doesn't say it on the box, but anyway, the booklet is printed in America. So you can see that says something about the production process. Well, I'll move on because of time. I'm always on a time frame here. And I'm not so good at that. So we'll go on to the next one. You can see it looks kind of the same. Also the outside kind of looks the same, but it's another year. This is year 1974, and I found that out here specifically because the address and everything's the same, but the printing line here is 3, and I narrowed it down because I knew when 4 was, so I could pretty specifically pinpoint 1974. Still, they have blushing fools and blushing high priestesses. Then here we have a deck from, let's see, 1985, 1987. So that's a huge jump. And you see here they're away from Park Avenue, and now the address is East 32nd Street. The rest is still pretty much the same in the box, but let's see, here you see the printing line is number 5, so this is the 5th printing. And then here, you can see that the measles are gone. So I don't know if it's very clear, but they aren't, in this edition, they don't have blushes anymore. So they stopped shaming themselves for whatever reason. Well, I go a bit further in time. Okay, clear that up later. Let's see, what do we have here? This is a younger version. This is 1988, 1990. I could pinpoint that down. And here you see it's Stamford. It also says so on the box that it's Stamford. So because they went later to Stamford US Game Systems, we knew this was a later edition. And then I also look at the printing line here, what it says. And it specifically said here, well, this is a very mint booklet, so I have to be careful, 8. So this is a really late printing. So we go on in time, only 2 left to go. And this one, also no measles, rest is the same, Stamford, the box is the same. Really like this, but it's not so practical. Here you have an interesting anomaly. So the booklet is complete, but something went wrong with staple. You see, it wasn't deep enough, so these pages are pristine. They're in there, but they're not damaged, so they didn't get stapled. And here you see, so still the booklet is printed in the US, but here you see the printing line 12. So this is 12th edition. It's between 1991 and 1993. So the early 90s, and you see no blushing fool, but what you see here, you see the copyright there on the card. So that's also a difference. And then here I have the last one, and this one is, I believe, from 2019. It's still from the same line. It's the MR78. So that's how I saw. Okay, it belongs to the same family. And this is a 2019 deck, and you see this is completely different. So you don't have the fool on the back anymore. You don't have the world on the front, and colors are less vibrant. What I like here, this is published, the booklet in Stamford. And let's see, the printing line isn't there anymore, but it has ISBN number, of course, and so you can find, I believe this, this one too. I have to be careful not to get them mixed up, but this one too. So you see here on the box, that's the one from the 90s. It has an ISBN too. So, and the one before that, I believe, as well. So see, ISBN as well. And here, obviously, and of course, website, that's something, of course, completely new. And here you have a barcode. And what's interesting here, normally the 2 cards were blank. And here now you have a card with info about US Game Systems. And here you have a very nice biography card of Miss Coleman Smith. And I like that very much, what the late Stuart Kaplan all did to give her the credit she was due. And I really loved that he did that. So loved more of the things he did. So here, of course, you have the High Priestess again and the Fool, and they don't have measles. So yeah, I hope I got everything right, because every time I do something, whether I post something or make a video, people say, oh, it's not about this or that, you made a mistake. But anyway, I hope this was insightful and love to see you next time. Bye bye.